God, source, creator, higher self, whatever you want to call it, that energy is pure love. That energy wants to give you everything that you need in this lifetime. Even the things that you are unaware that you're asking for, it will deliver. In today's session with a client, she had no beliefs surrounding past lives or reincarnation, does not have full awareness of being a soul in a body, having an experience yet. In this regression session, the first lifetime we were taken to, she was a boy. The boy was wearing a white cloth dress-like piece of clothing and he was wearing no shoes. The boy lived in a very small village on a farm in a dwelling that was made of wood but not a log cabin. The boy had a family, a sister, a father, and a woman that was not his mother, may have been a grandmother. It was a happy household. When we moved further into the scene, the boy was having a birthday and they were celebrating the birthday with a cake. And as we progressed forward into the scene, the boy was in what looked like a church-like structure. And the boy was seeing an angel. And as the client was describing it, she was very confused at what she was seeing. She thought it was a statue. That's what she communicated, that it was a statue. And then we moved out of that scene and we moved further on in life where the boy was grown up and we were taken into a schoolhouse. And the boy was sitting at a desk, drawing on a piece of paper. And the client was very aware and very amused or surprised that the boy was now wearing pants and shoes. That was the ego trying to make sense of what it was witnessing. So again, the boy was drawing on a piece of paper and he was drawing that angel that we saw in the last scene. And as we moved forward again in time, the boy was now a man. The man was standing back in that church, standing at the front of the church. He was a priest now, and the man was preaching to the congregation about the angel. And then we progressed forward into the scene to the last day of the man's life. The man was deceased, was buried in the field where the boy grew up. And the soul was standing over the gravesite with the angel. And the life lesson was, you're abundant in love. That life deserves to be celebrated. That you're never alone. You see, the reason why this is so significant is my client lived in New York, worked in New York City. her birthday was 9/11, and her mother was in the second tower of the World Trade Center, and they never found her remains. And although she's married with children now, has a large family of siblings, has her father, she still has been looping on the grief of the loss of her mother, feeling as if she's alone and that nobody really knows her. When we lose a loved one, we have like an identity crack, and she was not able to resolve this. Even working with her for the past 2 years, she's made tremendous steps forward of releasing things and moving past the looping stories, but there was still something unresolved. What this session showed her and gave her peace of mind is that this is not our full story, that this is only a little piece of who you are, that each of us is a soul having an experience. Each of us has contracts that we need to fulfill in order to expand the soul, and that her life, her as a soul, is worth living, worth celebrating her birthdays, and that she is held and that she is never alone. And it was such an important message. This client cried through the entire session, and after speaking with her days later, she felt completely at peace now, without the stories, without the reasoning behind it, at peace with being able to just live her life to the fullest, knowing that she's never alone. And after we were done doing all of the life reviews, she said something very interesting. She said that she was aware that it was her voice speaking when the higher self came through, but that it wasn't her. She was aware that she was in the background, that she had stepped aside, and that there was another energy speaking through her body, answering the questions that I was asking. And again, this is a person that doesn't have the understanding that the body is just a vehicle and that she's a soul inhabiting it, and that we can step aside, we can pop out at any time that we want and come back in. What this also showed me is that the expression of the person and the personality that was coming through, questioning something as silly as being amused by the fact that the boy had no pants and then he had pants, just showed me that person's personality a little bit, and they're not necessarily just about the ego, just that when they're speaking, you get to see how they think and how they react to situations. It was a beautiful session, and I'm glad it was very healing for her. I thought it was one of the sessions that was important to share here. I hope you enjoy.